button.
Button. Pressing
Who's
all
got the
buttons.
button?
It's over
Button.
there.
Button.
Imagine Crash staring at 2 buttons, wiping sweat off of his forehead. One button says start recording. The other button says start recording. Hello, and welcome to Cause and Effect. This is the Homebrew Dungeons & Dragons campaign. My name is Crash. I will be your DM for the evening. Tonight I'm joined by a bunch of awesome people, including Beth, Crash, Ellie, EO, and Jen. And yes, I just read all the names in Discord, including my own, because why not? I'm celebrating Foundry letting us all in.
Finally.
Yes. Some of us
We
have
got
to change
our
browsers.
fighting with Found. Sorry.
Yes,
we got our fighting with.
We have successfully defeated the Foundry boss. You all get 20
Before the
XP.
game this time.
Yes.
We
You
all get a
yeah.
decimal amount of XP
Fortunately.
according to our dexterity.
You already have inspiration. However,
Should I be at full health?
yes, everyone
EO, sorry.
everyone had a long rest right before the climactic conclusion of our last session, so everyone should have had a long rest. Speaking of, what happened last time?
We lost Hex's sibling.
I got
Mike is right
very emotional.
Yeah. Yep.
His bag ate it. Well, actually, the slender man of bags ate them, but yeah.
So we met JR, finally.
They finally let us do it.
We met 38, who was Tex's squad mate, who also got damaged during Tex's inciting event. And,
Technically 39, but still.
39? Sorry.
Yeah.
I thought today was
39
episode
as
39.
in the episode number is what I named them after.
Oh.
So that means they're 40
all
now.
right.
So that means now they're 40?
No, I am not having them change their name each episode.
Yeah.
I was remembering this episode as 39 and backforming to 38. And then Tex had a catharsis, and then 39 got a slate that they could write on since they don't have a functioning voice box. And then we all went back home. Home to the cohort room, not home like home. Not back to the horrors.
No, we don't want to go back to the horrors.
I'm going to interject and say that, well, you refer to it as a slate, but in actuality, it is GNU plus slate. No. But actually, what I went to headcanon it as, and I'm the GM, so that means it's actual canon. I alluded to it being some type of technological device, but I really, really, really want it to be one of those kids' toys where there's like black or purple wax on cardboard with a sheet over top of it that you press down on with a stylus or your fingernail. And then you
I know
clear it by
those.
pulling it up and then putting it back down again.
I remember those.
That's what I want it to be, so that's what it's going to be. Anyway, please continue.
And then everybody went to bed for the night, and then A woke everybody up in the morning by saying that 39 was gone, and also the blood on A's bag of holding was gone,
Well,
which was kind of eerie.
the blood on A's bag of holding was gone because Cabell cast prestidigitation as a reflex at this point towards that bag.
Oh,
Okay, that makes sense.
Usually, the blood comes back, and the blood had not come back.
Ah, yeah.
Yes.
okay.
And
I did not
also-
understand that part.
Yes. Also, because Warforged don't need to turn off their senses as they are recharging, Tex did see 39 walk around the corner of the room formed by A's small 10-foot by 10-foot room that they had created, which just has a bedroll and some belongings in there at this point. There was no sound of a struggle. There wasn't enough time for there to really be a struggle or even go around the corner to check in the time where someone would think, maybe I should go take a look. Before that thought would finish, A was running out and going over and shaking Chadrick to wake Chadrick up. Because, of course, A would go to Chadrick first.
Mm-hmm.
The tablet was left behind.
The tablet was left behind, and on it was scrawled HE because, obviously, when you're being dragged into a bag of holding, you shout for help. So it was HE in capital letters.
Or there was the initials of Hieronymus Engelbert, notorious Warforged napper.
Ah, yes.
Probably not.
Probably not that. Mhm.
Almost definitely not that one. Although I've got my note app open. Let me Hieronymus.
And when you can't talk, you have to scream somehow. And so instead of scrabbling for like the edge of the bag or a wall or A's ankles, 39 screamed for head.
Another thing to note that was revealed with some high rolls was A's room was not constructed of the highest quality. It's not the highest quality feature in this room, and you have a double-decker couch and another couch that was left here by the previous occupants because they couldn't be bothered to take it with them. So
I've been assuming that Chadrick crocheted it.
No, Chadwick crocheted the cover for it.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
But yeah, actually, truthfully, I've been assuming that it exists primarily because kobolds need darkness to sleep.
Actually, I guess kind of wanted my privacy.
I mean, that's fair. That's
Fair
really
enough,
fair.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I have a sleep mask. I've been using it.
Aww.
Downstairs, member services is still trying to figure out why we haven't ordered dividers for the room.
I mean, we're most of us like horribly traumatized because of, you know, living through the horrors, and I'm not sure Hobby entirely understands privacy when she's been running around and you sleep where you sleep, you know?
But well, exactly, and their experience with other cohorts is almost certainly that after having spent their time in the barracks where they sleep with everybody else, when a cohort has the opportunity to have separate rooms, they take it.
I mean, yeah, but also it's a lot of bother.
I mean, member services is still waiting for your cohort to pick a name. Because you're the only cohort that has their own suite and is still called 15972 instead of the Submarine Optimals or the Murder Hobos or insert name of group here. Nope. You still have the bunch of random numbers you were assigned when you registered.
X is actually going to start thinking about names.
I mean, there's time lost, but that kind of you know, gives away the whole problem.
Mm-hmm.
So, great conversation aside,
We need
the
to
point
find.
I'm making is that door is not a quiet door to A's room. There was no sound of door opening or closing.
That sounds like somebody did a silence spell.
You definitely heard A.
Yeah, but the silence spell probably went away when the bag of holding closed.
That's a possibility. Anyway.
By the way, I don't think we've ever clarified this for people listening. A's name is spelled A-Y-E.
Yes.
A is not a Canadian kobold.
Yeah. Yeah.
A walks into the room munching tidbits
Oh no.
and wearing a toque.
A
I
hosers,
want fan art of A. I need to commission art of A wearing a toque.
you do. But
But not a Tuca.
until that happens, speaking of moving on,
At the end of the session, Tex called member services and tried to place a call to Chroma of the Circle of
Chroma,
Tales.
that's right.
Oh, that's right.
Right, because we need.
Chroma is vacuum rated, and a bag of
Yes.
holding doesn't have breathable air after a few minutes.
Chroma is vacuum rated and an artificer.
And an artificer, yes.
And if you need spacesuits, then I'll see what I can do.
It's going to take me a while to gather the hamsters, though.
Oh no!
No.
No, I am
Kobold
not a
artificers.
druid. I am not a druid and I am not an inventor. I am an artificer that is a different class.
Just because most kobold artificers used to be kobold inventors doesn't mean all of them are still inventors, and also several of them never were inventors. They have never decided that a beehive was the appropriate ranged weapon attack for a kobold. Actually, it's
I mean, if
lost
you can
now.
keep the bees, if you can keep them contained until the right time, then, well,
Do I want
That
to know why there
roll
was
that
a-
I just made was not anything that Cathal is doing, but Chroma's sheet does not exist in here.
fair game?
And as we tend to use investigation skill for tech stuff, I rolled her investigation for fun.
Okay. For the record, member services is not keen on immediately contacting the granddaughter of one of their founding members just because a cohort asks for it.
Oh,
But they do go a step down, thinking, okay, well, if it's important enough, they'll go a step up. So otherwise, can you imagine everyone who just be like pestering everyone else that is related to the founding members? That it would
this
be a
is
bit
an
much.
interesting problem.
Oh, sure. Sure, definitely. I agree. But also, member services does try to make sure to be a bottleneck in the process because they've been asked to be a bottleneck in the process by the founding members.
that's well, yeah, that's fair.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
So-
fair.
So you are first put in touch with Assistant Artificer Oopsie Shattertoe of the Shattertoe clan, who has actually been doing extra-dimensional research.
It's useful.
And yes. So they pop in, and by pop in, I mean there is a popping sound, and they appear in your domicile. Okay,
That's pretty useful.
everything okay? Did I displace anyone?
Hope not.
No,
So?
there is a chunk of the couch missing, but I think that was missing before.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that might be true too.
I'm 10 feet away from it, so if I displace part of the couch, that would... Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. And she pulls out a notepad and starts scribbling on it, like, okay, carry the 3.
It was missing before. Don't worry about it. Is my voice weird? Should I consider a new voice box?
Sounds fine to me.
I believe what my friend is saying is that she was making a joke.
Yes,
Oh,
a joke.
Ah,
I've heard of those. I don't research them, though. Okay, so, I heard you had an extra-dimensional problem. How can I help? Or make it worse? Or which is
We need to mount an expedition into a bag of holding.
To get our friend back.
Several
Who's a
people
Warforged.
present will not be able to breathe inside the bag of holding.
Oopsie
And a
eyes
couple of
in-
people present may not be able to fit.
Oopsie's eyes
Oh.
have increased to about double their original size, slowly as you continue to give this information. This is so exciting! She is practically vibrating. Okay, actually,
It
she
would,
is vibrating.
in fact, be fascinating if it wasn't such a pressing and personal problem.
Oh.
That
Oh,
the
it's one of-
monster in the bags of holding may have gotten one of our friends.
There's a monster? What did it look like?
Apparently so.
Cavill, I believe you were the one who knew the name of the monster.
I did know it, and the
It's
player
the
has
Bagman.
forgotten.
The Bagman.
It is,
Oh, the Bagman.
assuming
Okay.
that I am correct, the Bagman. Or, whatever the legend of the Bagman came from. You know how it is.
Oopsie has put away the first notebook and pulled out 2 other notebooks before she finds the notebook that she wants to write in and is starting to write in that one. I actually don't know the history of the Bagman. Is it somebody who decides to be more environmentally sound when they go shopping?
No.
Unfortunately, no.
Are they homeless?
No. Well,
The
maybe.
home is the
Probably
bag of
not.
holding.
Are they
Right,
made
the
of
home
that?
is the back.
How is that possible? There's no air.
That is a
Presumably, they
problem.
don't require air.
Or they have
Maybe
some
they're
way to-
mechanical.
Or undead.
Could be undead.
The legends involving an adventurer who crawled in to hide while the rest of their party died would imply an undead,
Oopsie is attempting
given that there's no
crawl.
air.
Oopsie is attempting to crawl into the bag of holding, and A is desperately trying to keep the bag away. At this point,
No.
A
Maybe
is
don't do
rotating
that.
don't wanna
in a
do that.
circle
Mm-hmm.
As Oopsie is walking around A at the same speed that A is rotating.
Can I
Maybe
walk
pick
over
A
and
up,
Tried to do this, and they would
Yeah.
pick A up and pick A up and hold A up
Oh.
so that the bag of holding is further away.
Tex attempts to grapple Oopsie, apparently. Mech also attempts to grapple Oopsie, apparently.
That's better for Mac.
Yeah.
Oopsie is a squirmy worm. Oopsie is a cat who does not wish to be picked up.
Oh no.
Hobby is a
I
cat
just-
who is trying to pick up A.
Yeah. Okay.
A will not contest it.
Do I need to roll?
No, A does not contest this.
He's
A is
letting
trying
you.
to keep the bag of holding
Hobby.
away.
Beloved
Yes?
sibling,
Yes, I'm just kind of
bag
trying
of
to
holding may chant ledger domain.
Oh, right. A, can I hold the bag of holding up?
Considering A is trying to hold the bag of holding as high as possible, A is okay with this.
Hobby will set A upon her shoulder as best she can. She's not a complete wimp at strength. She's pretty good, and we'll
This
use
is a unique
the
turn
mage
of events.
and we'll use the mage hand cantrip to levitate up the bag of holding even further so that Oopsie cannot get into it.
Well,
Safety gear for exploring the bag of holding.
Don't get in it without safety gear, or without us.
yeah. I think Kroba was working on something like that. We've been doing a lot of space stuff lately, and yeah, she was already vacuum rated, but most kobolds aren't. Yeah.
Right. So don't crawl in the back of yet. So don't crawl in the bag of holding if you're not vacuum rated.
Oh, I got medication for that.
What?
Yeah.
What?
So, would that solve our problem?
Maybe.
I'm concerned by why this is maybe.
Exactly.
Still in the testing
Is it
phase.
kobold?
Has a few bugs to work out. It works on kobolds, but we haven't really tested it on mammals.
Oh,
Ah,
good to know.
Cobalt OSHA had rules against that.
Mm. Seems they should.
Yeah.
The mammals tend to object if it doesn't work.
Well, have you ever seen a perfectly spherical cow?
I have
Not
seen
only
something that approached a
theoretically.
perfectly spherical sheep.
Oh, you've been to the farm.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
it was quite exciting.
No, that's just wool. I mean, the lungs inflated until it was perfectly spherical. They don't survive that.
That does sound unpleasant.
It was for everyone in the splatter zone, yes.
And probably for the sheep. Or
It
cow.
wa- well, like I said, we don't test on mammals. But if you're willing to try it, I mean, you can try it.
Um. mm,
I don't know, alter self. I can't make myself a reptile, so I'll pass.
All
I
right,
think
well,
we should try it on an expendable mammal first.
Kobold OSHA has rules against that too.
Sorry. I, my immediate thought was everybody's eyes turned to Chadrick.
Oh,
Oh no.
A squirms down, like climbing like a cat would. Squirms
That was-
down Hobby, runs over, and stands in front of Chadwick with arms outstretched as if to block you.
Oh no.
That was not even remotely canon.
though it might be necessary to keep Chadrick from deciding to try it.
This might also be true.
Would you consent to a third-party analysis?
Well, me personally, I don't have a problem, but it's not my research. It's Chroma's.
Oh.
Yeah. She's the one.
I hear she's important.
She's the one who made the caffeine pill.
There's
Okay.
a pill for that?
Well, it was mostly coffee, but some of us wanted to take it faster, so it got concentrated. And
Concern.
the Oopsie's eyes just start to dilate.
Huh.
Anyway, we're researching space now.
We certainly seem to have an inner space problem or something like that.
Yes, I've been researching that too. I have a theory that we could use linked extra-dimensional spaces to shorten traveling distance without actually using like teleportation magic. I'm working on the mathematics for it, but it's not quite complete yet. And
Well,
then
this
in
might
space-
actually help you.
Yes, that's why I'm so excited about this. I call it the purple wormhole theory.
Why are they purple?
What does it have to do with purple worms?
They're really big and they connect places with giant tunnels.
Okay, that's fair.
You know, that's
All right. Hmm.
If we do regular worms, they're too small to go through.
Wait, are there actual purple worms involved?
Not anymore.
Good.
Doc's had to cut its head off.
I've heard of him, but I haven't met him yet.
Anyway, if you want to analyze the inhaler that I use for breathing vacuum, or want to get the boring, like, oxygen tank and goggles, goggles are kind of neat, I guess. Either way, you're probably going to need to talk to Chroma.
Yes, I believe that is what I asked to do in the first place.
Oops, he just stares at you.
That is actually not something that Tex would say. I apologize.
Oh, right. That is not
Also-
something she would say.
Also-
Tex is more thoughtful than that.
But I do see an 18 on a history check.
It should be insight.
Oh. I don't like
Looks
the
like
focal line
insight
for
to
these
me.
bifocals. Yeah, it's insight. Anyway, this is a me problem and how far away my monitor is from my face.
Oh,
So, what do
yes.
you want to know?
Yes. Perhaps it would be best if we spoke to Chroma.
Okay.
It seems that member services could not put us in touch with her. Could you?
Oh, yeah, sure. Is everyone here who wants to go?
It's not going to send us through some. It's not going to blow up our bag of holding, right?
Oh, no. Remember, my theory is incomplete. I can't use that technology yet.
Okay.
No, this is something
Just
else
checking.
entirely.
so you're planning on blowing up bags of holding when you figure it out?
No,
Is that right?
that would
Okay.
be bad. Unless... I would get you the astral plane
Um,
faster. Oopsie.
I was going to say, unless you
drops-
really want to send things to the astral plane.
Oopsie has dropped the device that she pulled out of a pouch and has pulled out another notebook and is frantically scribbling additional notes.
Hobby will hand the bag of holding back to assuming A wants it, and use Mage Hand to carefully pick up the item that got dropped.
I was going to say, in my mind, Hobby is tossing the bag of holding back to A and grabbing the device before it hits the ground.
I mean, it could work. Cat, right?
The device looks fairly sturdy. It has a button and a dial. The dial has notches on it. They are not labeled.
Hobby, make an ooh shiny roll.
Hobby is not half that problem.
On another world, Utashi makes an ooh shiny roll.
And gets distracted by it for hours.
This is why we're all grateful that Guiding Bolt did not actually connect with a glacier elemental.
Yeah.
That would have been a thing.
Shiny.
Yes. It was already made of ice. It was already shiny. But Oopsie realizes that, drops the important thing. Yeah, thanks, and takes it. Okay, we're all going, right?
Uh-huh.
All right. Hold on to your... Actually, don't hold on. I haven't tested that part yet. Turns the dial all the way, presses a button. There is a popping sound.
Ugh.
Good
Wait.
news. You're saying wait at your destination.
Yeah, I know. That's the joke.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Good news for the Warforged. Your location has just simply changed. Bad news for all the biologicals. Your location has changed. You are in the same pose and placement and configuration you were in before you left. But you know what you didn't take with you? The air in your lungs.
Oh, no.
Like I
Are
said,
we in the bag of
Rex and
holding?
Mech are just fine. No. The change in gravity tells you you're probably on the moon. However, this teleportation device takes people. It doesn't take the atmosphere.
Oh, no.
Gas.
So
I'm
is
not-
it's less gasp and more as soon as you open your mouth, there's going to be a catastrophic inrushing of air.
I mean, it's probably coming through the nose, honestly.
Ow.
Didn't we replant stuff on the moon, though?
Ow.
Didn't the
Ow.
kobolds do that?
Ow.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
There is
there's
atmosphere here.
there is air.
Okay.
There just isn't any in their lungs when in the instant
Sure.
they appear here.
Okay, got it.
My clothing comes with me, but the air doesn't.
The air is technically part of you. Or equipped by you.
It should be.
I think that I would like to equip the air in my lungs.
You'd have to talk to Chroma about that. Anyway,
That's an out of context quote, isn't it?
yes. It is now. We
This now. Yeah.
did have it just taking everything around the target area, but it ended up taking like ground and sometimes ceilings.
How about
And-
things inside the target area or inside the target person?
Well, after the poison gas incident, we decided that was a bad idea too.
I mean, at least you can exhale the poison gas, right?
That is certainly a hypothesis that you could proffer. Yes.
Oh, wow.
I have concerns.
So did we. That's why we don't take air with us.
Painful.
Yeah, it beats poison gas. Or having a ceiling not attached to anything appear above your head.
Maybe warn people
you.
to exhale before you press the button.
Oh. Oh, yeah. I was supposed to do that, wasn't I?
Uh-huh.
Sorry. I get excited a lot.
Uh,
Oh, we're here to see Chroma.
Well, no harm done.
As you're saying no harm done, Oopsie is running out of the door.
I guess we should follow.
Probably.
Okay. EO,
Yes,
what would Chroma's workshop look like?
it's. Well, it looks a little bit like a garage made of blast doors. There are more things behind the blast doors, but the doors are usually down. There's machinery everywhere for all obvious reasons. There's a number of magical items scattered around, partly things she made, partly things she's studying. Spell scrolls that she's trying to analyze the structure of to see if she can make a device that will properly channel the weave into that form. Scorch marks around.
There is at least one set of scorch marks that has a hastily written apology note signed Monty.
Oh,
The note is scratched into the scorch marks. The note is actually more damage to the infrastructure than the scorch marks are.
there is a coffee machine. It does not dispense magical coffee of haste.
For reasons.
The reasons are that potions are expensive.
Also,
a good
have you
choice.
seen
Yeah.
the scorch marks?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So Chroma has figured out how to make coffee without it being a potion of haste.
You have to dilute it a lot.
So this is like 30 potions of haste.
This is why Chroma still has the periaptive endless water.
Oh, no, sorry. This is one potion of haste and like 30 gallons of water.
Something like that.
Okay.
Oopsie is in the process of telling everything to Chroma. Now, you may think that I mean that Oopsie is recounting what has happened so far. No.
No, we understood.
Okay.
Yep.
Oopsie is occasionally getting back to telling Chroma about the party, but it's 75% tangents by volume, some of which involves things that were frantically written in notebooks previously. There's about 3 or 4 notebooks on the ground right now as Oopsie keeps pulling out other notes to go over them to make sure that she's saying the right things.
Chroma is rapidly nodding and asking questions, and the questions are not helping get away from the tangents.
And everyone knows why Oopsie is an assistant artificer working under Chroma at this point.
Reasons.
Kindred souls.
Yep, those would be the reasons.
Thing. Bag words. Bag of holding. 8 friend. Need air. Go in.
Uh-huh.
This is done with a lot of hand gestures, which I, the GM, was doing in front of this
How
microphone.
massive the friend in question was. That was the wrong voice. That was half my Cavill voice. Let me get my Chroma voice. Can I ask what the friend in question was?
A robot shaped like a skeleton. Not that one. The other one?
Not this one. It's a different one.
All right, I'm going to assume that said friend does not exceed 64 cubic feet, but does the friend exceed 500 pounds?
I don't know.
We already turned the bag
I would have to-
inside out. They're not in there.
All right. No, I got that, but
Do you have a scale?
the question of whether oh yeah, over there. The question of whether the bag's own capacity moderates what can enter the space might be relevant, even if it's not actually going to the place the bag of holding should go to. And the bag of holding is normally usable. Like, you can use it to put an object into it and retrieve it, and it will come out just fine.
Unless it's a no.
Could turning it inside out eject anything?
Yes.
All right.
Don't do that if there's an open there.
Yeah.
I read notes on that. I read nope notes.
Yes, I did it. Not something to do if there's a nope in there. It did constrain the size of the nope, at least.
To answer your question, I weigh 344 pounds, fully loaded. And my friend is substantially less substantial than I am and has virtually no equipment.
At this point, while you've been having this
Can
conversation...
I analyze the material you're... No. Off topic.
While you are having this conversation, Oopsie has been turning on various things and adjusting various equipment and pointing a few things that look like radar dishes in the general direction of A, who is clutching the bag of holding a bit tighter than before. But then Oopsie presses another button and there is a sound as a piece of paper comes out. She tears it off, takes a moment to gently fold the little side parts that have little holes punched in them, and then
It's one of those. I was hoping it was one of those.
It's a wonderful little moment of zen that you are all very conscious of the fact that Oopsie is doing this and not like telling you what's on the paper. Before Oopsie comes back to her senses. It doesn't happen often. She's not used to that. And says, here's the neat thing. Your friend is not in the bag of holding. Isn't that great?
Right. But the extra-dimensional space must be present as per usual, given that the bag folding's still working.
I can promise you it's working.
So something...
I was knee-deep in tchotchkes when we turned it inside out.
Right, so something must be, well, effectively reaching into or tunneling into, in a way that doesn't involve actual tunnels. Probably.
And this is when Oopsie interjects again. Yes, isn't it great? This goes right along with my purple wormhole theory. Look. And Oopsie runs over and almost shoves the paper at Chroma. I'm assuming Chroma reacts appropriately for grabbing the paper because they work together.
Yes.
So they're both used to this bountiful energy. And Chroma recognizes the information on the readout. One of the things that Oopsie's been theorizing is the existence of parasite dimensions, which by themselves would just be little bubbles, but they end up latching onto another space, usually an interdimensional space, not a full dimension like the material plane, but little pocket dimensions, and then gets its sustenance from that pocket dimension. And
Chroma's eyes get real big.
How much do you think they'll sell the bag of holding for?
We need our friend out of it. And after that, you'll have to talk to A. A saved up to get that bag of holding.
You said that the bag of holding keeps getting covered in blood?
It did.
And you're not putting anything in there that should, make blood, right? Not filling it with monster corpses?
A? You're not filling it with
Shakes their
monster
head
corpses.
vigorously.
Unless A has been sleepwalking, no.
So the parasite dimension must be traveling to, other, more, meat-containing locations, and then, I guess, spitting blood out.
Cavil's role during our last session would provide Cavil with the appropriate information. The thing about the Bagman legend is most times when historically, every time the Bagman comes and takes someone away, they're not going willingly.
Yeah. Weird that bag's the exit point for the blood. I guess maybe all the bags that are linked to it are the exit point for the blood, but...
It's not bleeding anymore is the problem, then.
Well...
Biologicals do tend to have quite a bit of blood in them, and this bag did not have that much blood.
So I suppose it's not replacing the not attaching to the extra-dimensional storage space so much as becoming the mouth, because otherwise it would probably just spit blood into the storage space. And if blood is coming from it taking people elsewhere, then, I mean, it's not eating people with that mouth, except it did, but, like, not regularly eating people with that mouth, but it is regularly getting covered in blood. Sorry, my mouth goes faster than my equations. You need something.
Oopsie is writing down equations right now, by the way.
We need our friend back. We thought if we go into the bag, maybe we can find them.
I suppose the first thing to do would be to check for a connection to the parasite dimension. I assume you are not asking me to replace all of your lungs.
With what?
Mechanical lungs.
Hobby is thinking about this very thoughtfully.
I don't have time anyway, and it's expensive to make them unless it's through infusions.
Oh, okay.
I thought we could use the scuba gear.
Could work. How do you feel about scuba diving?
It's wet.
Well, good news, this won't be wet. Probably.
And
Hobby looks horrified at the probably.
And remember the Intricanator that we made to help with the swoballs that kept getting stuck in the angel ship doorways?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, we might be able to use that to have them all be able to enter the bag of holding. Getting them out might be slightly trickier, but I think we can work it out.
Well, someone could take one into the bag of holding at the end.
We can enshrink in the enshrinkifier and have it turned around the other way. Yes, this could work. Another notebook has been produced and is now being written in. This is a different one from the others.
Well, I'm not sure that's the most efficient solution, but it's probably the most scientifically interesting solution, so let's try it.
Yes! Smash cut 2.
Okay.
You are in a totally different room. This appears to be a spaceport hangar. You're from the future. You actually know what that looks like. This is definitely a spaceport hangar. At some point, the rigging makes it look like this was a hangar for giant robots. They didn't have those in the past, but whatever. Way bigger.
Once again, you have no air in your lungs.
Oh no.
Probably. This time we exhale.
Only the Warforged have no air in their lungs. This time.
Right. We don't have lungs.
Yes, exactly. Well, oddly enough, now you do. You should give those back.
Sorry. Those are in progress.
They were in
Already
me.
have inspiration. I checked while you were describing Chroma's workshop. Because my smile was really big as you were describing it. So the bag of holding, this tiny little bag of holding, is hooked up to what looks like an incomplete funnel. A very large funnel that on one end fits into the bag of holding rather snugly. The bag of holding is open as wide as it goes. On the other end, it's large enough that somebody 12 foot tall would be able to walk into it and very quickly not be short enough to go further, but they could stand at the edge. So, you know how you can have like weird perspective where you could draw lines on a room to make it look like you're getting larger or smaller as you walk down it?
You're harnessing the perspective and magic to make us go down a hallway, and it seems like the hallway is the same size for us, but we're actually getting smaller.
Oh, no, that wouldn't work at all. This looks like you're doing that, but actually is magically reducing your size. But we're going to put another one on the other side that makes you big again. Because a giant killer robot that's actually tiny would actually not work as well as a giant killer robot that's a giant killer robot.
Yes. I'm
right.
given to understand that.
Right. So, everyone have their scuba gear on?
We have scuba gear, I hope?
Well, yes. During the smash cut, you were given air tanks, which are very, very small. They're actually part of the mask. It was a little rebreather thing.
So it looks like those respirator things that have the two things stuck onto the sides of it, and
Yes.
yeah, okay.
The air is heavily pressurized, but it doesn't make use of an extra dimensional space. These were being developed in part for spacewalks in the angel ships, and that was being developed at a time where the phlogiston was still a thing. The phlogiston,
So the magic,
where extra dimensional spaces don't work.
right?
Well, as a happy coincidence, that means they don't send you to the astral plane if you take them into a bag of holding.
That is a happy coincidence.
Yes, but those are attached to some goggles. They're not the cool-looking steampunk goggles. They're the I am on vacation in the tropics or I'm in the neighborhood pool snorkeling goggles.
As long as they fit on tabaxi.
With some modifications that are hastily made, they actually do.
Oh, good.
There is some discussion. I am sure that Hobby, when asked, declined to do any shaving of hair to get a more airtight seal.
She would rather not. Perhaps prestidigitation can be employed to flatten the fur appropriately.
The compromise is Hobbies actually has, on one side there's a tank, on the other side there's a tube that runs to a slightly larger tank that's strapped to your back. Because
Good.
you are not going to have an airtight seal. Your mask will be constantly leaking fresh air.
Perhaps you will allow me to pull the straps.
I have
Sure
some
about
glue
this.
that should just wash out.
Should is a key word there. Have you tried it on someone with fur?
I don't suppose there's an opportunity for a bubble helmet.
Oh no, the
We'll
bubbles
make it
pop.
work.
What?
That was better than anything
No.
I was going to come up with. So what was Tex saying?
We'll make it work.
Right, if you're sure you don't want the glue.
I remember the last time we had to clean glue out of Hobby's fur. That was 2 weeks we couldn't do missions.
It was a lot of glue.
And that was with prestidigitation being a thing.
I should rather prefer not to have glue.
You'd prefer
Yeah, I
to have
suppose
clean
glue
fur.
isn't dirt, so you've got to kind of get it ground up a little into clumps before the spell will take effect.
Also, we spent several gold on peanut butter.
As
Hey.
this conversation is going on, Oopsie is again scribbling in a notebook, but also, just without thinking about it, hands a notebook to Chroma.
Okay.
Mhm.
At some point, I'm sure they trade notebooks again.
Oh, thank you.
Right. So,
Is this still?
by my calculations, you should probably come back before 2 hours from now, or you know that limit about how much air there is in a bag of holding? Yeah, that.
We have 2 hours of air in the tanks.
Well, you probably have what's the calculations of seeping through the fur. You probably have like 1 hour 50 minutes, give or take, depends on how active you are. Do you take cat naps?
Been known to.
Maybe 2.5 hours.
Okay.
Maybe an hour and a half.
Try to get back before an hour and a half. Yeah, got it.
If your vision starts telescoping closed, it like the whole little black circle just getting large, smaller and smaller and smaller in your vision,
Yeah.
then you should have come back 5 minutes earlier. So keep an eye out.
Right. Got it.
All right. If that happens, can I just throw her back out of the bag?
If you're close enough,
Depends
yeah,
on-
that's a good idea.
Do you think our flagstones will work in there?
Haven't tested it.
Hmm.
Actually, wait. 20 notebooks are produced and hastily discarded before one that has very clearly been filled, with some pages torn out, others glued in. Some of those pages that are glued in were glued in from a larger notebook, and one of them looks like it's a map that was folded incorrectly. Okay, well, it looks like we're the ones who made the flagstones. I thought so. Nope, they do not work interdimensionally. You're going to be on your own.
Yeah.
So we'll have to build in travel time to get out and not use the flagstones as our evac.
It's not like we've had the flagstones to evac in the past, so, you know.
Yes, but you need to know the mission parameters.
Yep.
Everyone with a nose, roll a perception check.
Okay. Perception.
Okay, well,
I have
with
little
a 20 and a
expertise.
22 so far, I'm going to say everyone who rolls over 10 smells cheese.
Sniff, sniff, sniff.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And there's a knock on the door, and then the door is opened by a large kobold who's carrying a bowl of mac and cheese. There you are, Chroma. Your mother sent me to make sure you eat, so this is what we're having today. Here you go.
Oh.
All right. I see you got new friends.
Yeah.
Did you
they're going
make
to
the
do an
friends, or are they just like, yeah, what's going on?
They're not. I did not make the Warforged, and I didn't make the others either. I definitely couldn't make the others. I might be able to make a Warforged if I worked really hard at it, but like,
Hey, okay, slow down, kiddo. Eat some food. I get it. It's okay.
they're going on an expedition into a bag of holding.
Whoa.
Actually, with the temporal distortions around them, they're from the far distant future, and so there's a possibility that we may have actually made their ancestors at some point. We don't know.
Okay, that's a lot. I'm going to go find the other barbarians. There's a few new ones that need desperate training. So, all right. Have fun, I guess. And I'm gone.
Have fun cutting off
Wave.
people's heads.
So, ready to go?
Sure.
Guess so.
I'd offer you some of the mac and cheese, but it's not like you could eat it in there.
I'm going to make a roll for A. A does not successfully sleight of hand grab a spoonful of mac and cheese.
Oh.
Oh, poor A.
The bowl is pushed just far enough out of A's reach by Oopsie at the last moment.
Curses.
Oh.
You gotta be
Poor
sicker
A.
than that. I have 18 siblings. And I raised 24 of them.
I think you only get to count the ones that survived.
I am.
How do you have 24 when you started with 18?
There's a lot of adopting.
Oh, that kind.
Oh,
Okay.
That makes sense.
I was adopted 8 times.
Fascinating.
Sometimes simultaneously.
Mac is just shaking her head like, okay.
No, this makes perfect sense to Hobby.
One time by a tabaxi.
It happens.
Anyway, they adopted Monty too. It was all very weird.
Just gonna ponder that and just nod sagely. And so we walk down the thing once we've got our breathing gear.
Yep, good luck. Take notes.
Bang. Take notes, yeah.
You have all been given a
I'll,
blank notebook. Mostly blank notebook.
Mm.
Some
So
of the
come with
notebooks
a
are half
pen.
full. Yes, you have been given pens as well.
Okay, good.
The notebooks have those little loops of fabric on the sides that you can store the pen in.
Oh, good.
I
Okay.
always take notes.
Wonderful. I look forward to deciphering them soon. And as you go down the funnel, it is not a funnel. As soon as you enter it, it looks like a straight hallway.
So,
No angles, no bends. It is a cylinder. And as you walk through into the darkness, we've been playing for about an hour, so let's take a break.
Okay.
And we're back. That was the right button before anyone asks. Because it's on the right side of OBS. The left button isn't actually a button, it's a scene selector. I see an
Fair.
athletic skill check of 28 from Tex as I'm saying we're back.
Wow. That's pretty good.
Yeah, I didn't fall into the pit that opened.
There is no pit. Instead, you are all inside a bag of holding. You recognize the bag of holding instantly because you've seen it inside out on more than one occasion. Last time, you were all knee-deep in tchotchkes.
and we
The
put
bag
them all
is
back,
empty.
didn't we?
Except for you.
I thought we put back all the Chotskis.
They were, I'm going to retroactively say, hastily shoved into A's room with the door, and then the door was closed to hold them up. Because
That's fair.
So when you open the door, they will all pour out again. But
Well, yeah.
yeah, you didn't want to swim through tchotchkes in order to get to 39. That would probably be painful. Some of them have sharp edges. The fun
no.
Well, we do have scuba gear. So if we
Well,
have to go
yeah.
swimming,
well, you've got the rebreather portions of the scuba gear. A was the only one who attempted to put on the flippers, but was reminded that wasn't going to work very well. You probably would not be swimming. So the walls of the space you are in appear to be made of worn, ragged leather, just like the outside of the bag is. There's very clearly old, dried bloodstains and scratch marks going off towards one of the walls, where there is very clearly a seam of the bag that has been torn open, and there is a space beyond it. When you were looking at the bag, outside of the bag, this tear did not exist.
Obviously, because we didn't stick our heads into the bag to look.
More than one of you did stick your head into the bag.
Yeah, that's right. Hoppy did. She
But-
held her breath.
Yes. And you did not see anything, but also it was very dark. And also, there was a horrible sound that caused bad things happening.
Yeah, the horrible sound is hopefully gone or not.
Can I set a
Not hearing
timer
anything.
on my ebook of shadows?
You definitely have set up a timer to give you
Oh, good.
a reminder chime at 30 minutes until no air, 20 minutes until no air, 10 minutes until no air, and 10 minutes after no air. That last one might have been a reflex.
I want
Everybody-
a timer at the halfway point.
Understood.
If we hit the halfway point and we're still walking, then we need to go back and,
Get more air.
yeah, bring extra air tanks.
Well, good news. I forgot what the good news was. Never mind. It's fine. It's probably fine. Just
Everybody,
ignore that,
please
Professor
stay
Farnsworth.
here. Everybody, please stay here. Do not move from where you are. I walk 30 feet ahead.
So the space
actually-
you are in now.
I need to reverse that because I forgot to give an instruction. And I will look really foolish if what I'm trying to find out is what I'm worried about. Everybody, please stay here. Do not move. And when I stop and turn around, say your name at a normal speaking voice.
In order
And then-
or all at once?
It does not matter. And then I walk off 30 feet. And
So-
at this point, crash.
Here is the problem. To the scale that you all understand, the bag is not 30 feet across. You can walk 30 feet. It means walking through that seam.
Okay, then I walk to the seat,
Okay.
but not through it.
Okay.
And then I stop and turn around.
I'll be here.
Does everybody say their name in a normal speaking voice?
Yes.
I'll be dead.
As much as his speaking voice is normal, yes.
Can I hear them?
Yes.
Okay. I have completed my test. You may proceed.
All right.
It's
Start
been
walking
through
over.
the seam.
Hmm?
He starts crawling
Bobby-
through the seam.
Hobby goes right after A.
Hey,
Now-
perhaps allow me to go first.
The sneaky rogue should sneak in first,
That's what I was thinking.
but not alone. Buddy system.
Very well. If something is prepared to lash out at anything crossing into the other side, I will allow the heavily armored war machine to not go first.
That's why we're going to go with stealth.
That's a 19 on the stealth check from A.
Very
It's a
nice.
9 on the die from A.
And it's still
Wow.
Do a pop out so that my
No, that was me being impressed, not.
Yeah. I'm impressed too. And A is lower level than any of you.
Yep.
So
Wow.
as you are pointing out the flaw in A's plan, you lose sight of A. A is just gone. And for the record, I didn't describe the seam 100%. It is large enough that Tex and Mech will only need to duck a little bit to go through it. But the bottom edge of it is high enough off the ground that A still had to kind of crawl over the edge to get through. It is difficult for the height challenged, not the height gifted.
Hobby will flow over the edge right after A, like a puddle of darkness vanishing into the darkness with a 26.
Pretty much.
Tex cannot step without jingling.
Oh.
Mech was stealthy. Look at that stealthy.
Yep.
The mech is not wearing heavy armor.
Mech was designed to hide in shadows previous to coming here.
Sorry, you.
I have bardic inspirations, but I don't know if Tex would have wanted that for sneaking.
Oh, yeah, don't worry about it. I'm not actually terribly concerned. I just want A to get out of the habit of rushing ahead.
That is valid.
A knows that you're on a timetable.
Yeah. Well, the heavily armored war machine comes through last.
All right. You find
You have
yourself in a space. Not in space, but
Thank
in
goodness.
a space. You wouldn't be able to describe it as a room. It doesn't feel like it should be a room. But it's not open either. It's not a cave. It is a location in a generic sense. There's areas where the edges of it rise up or stick out to form a facsimile of a table or a bunch of shelves or a platform. But these are labels that your brain is applying to them because it's the closest thing to what it is that you can comprehend. But that would assume that you can comprehend what the edges of the space are. What you can definitely comprehend, however, is there are thousands of tiny figurines and gadgets and trinkets and knickknacks and kitschy things holding signs that are delightfully spelled wrong to include puns, and an entire wall that is just Funko Pop toys.
Is what someone has been stealing out of abandoned or not so abandoned bags of holding.
They're not all. They don't all look like living creatures.
None of these look like they are alive. Some of them look
No,
like they were.
that's not what I asked.
Okay.
If I were to make a tchotchke in the shape of a living creature,
Mm-hmm.
it would look like a living creature. These don't all look like living creatures.
No.
Okay.
They all look like items that somebody with perhaps the time and money to collect such things has collected all of these. But if these were all collected by one person, their tastes are very eclectic.
Okay. So, Hobby, I think you're right. I believe you are right that these are items where people on the outside say, hey, I was sure that was in my bag of holding.
Do any of them look like the things that fell out because, wait, where was A getting all of the tchotchkes? Making them? Finding them? Where were you
I
finding
think
them?
we don't want to ask that question.
No.
I do.
Mm-mm.
I think
Okay.
I wasn't in here, but I'm guessing this is where they were coming from. Every now and then I'd find one in the bag of holding or outside of it, like nearby, but not always.
Oh. Perhaps we did want to ask.
Well, before it was just a thing, but your friend's in danger. So I'm not going to keep a secret when that's more important.
Crash, I don't suppose it didn't count against my flagstone use because we were within flag headquarters earlier.
I'm not worried about that.
Okay. Well, I am. Before we proceed, one more diagnostic test, please. Hobby, would you please contact member services? Cavill, please note the results of this test.
Hobby lifts
All
her,
right.
touches her flagstone, says, member services?
Radio silence.
They're not answering.
That is what was hypothesized.
Mm-hmm.
Indeed. Now we can report back. Thank you. Let's proceed.
Hobby will continue to stealth. Should I roll this again?
Tex
I'm gonna
will
see what
continue
this
to
is.
jingle.
A has picked up a little figurine that looks like a red-scaled kobold next to a snow globe. The red-scaled kobold is wearing a fur parka, and they appear to be making a snowman. And A's like, "This is 100% unrealistic. This kobold would be dead. This kobold would be very dead."
Maybe it's supposed to be a parka of warmth?
I guess, but look how much of their face is exposed. That they'd be having a lot of ouch.
Do.
A drops it. It bounces off of the equivalent of ground. Yeah, it's sharp
Weapon.
edges. A is sucking on a finger.
Watch out for poison.
Indeed.
No, it's okay. I sucked it out.
Please do not pick any of these up.
You sucked out the wait, what, poison? It bit you?
I think it
That
just
would
had
be
sharp
venom.
edges.
Hobby is just going to pick this thing up with mage hand
It
and examine
looks exactly
it
as
quickly.
it did before.
Where are the sharp edges?
Well, the kobold in a parka does have an open mouth, and there are lots of teeth. And the edge of it, like the base of it, has a hard corner where the top
Where's the
part
blood?
of it is sculpted. There's no blood. It didn't break the skin
Okay. Oh, good.
or scales or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Hobby is extremely concerned about things that are sharp and pointy that go out when you handle them.
I'm sure it's fine.
These had better not be mimics, or I'm going to be so cranky.
I was just thinking of that. Yeah.
Hobby is going to say that out loud. Why is Tasha?
Oh no.
What's happening?
A Tashki swarm 3 times.
Game Master privately rolled some dice.
Yes. Suddenly, the Chotskis rise up. And by that I mean literally. They do not unionize. They may have already done so.
They start floating in the air.
More like crawling up 3 party members. Let's see. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of you.
They're all on me.
Oh no.
No, they are not going to be all on you. I am re-rolling. I'm re-rolling duplicate numbers. It just so happens that I rolled 4 3 times in a row.
Uh-huh.
And the 6 is just straight out because there's only 5 of you.
So you rolled 2 of them.
So you got
Yeah.
twice, yes. Uh-huh. There's
Perhaps,
one.
wouldn't it be better to just roll 1d5 because you could do that in Foundry? Quiet you. But I am you. Quiet you. Okay. So, Tex, Mech, and Hobby are the 3 that get swarmed.
Perfect.
Yes. Or are getting swarmed. Now, Swarm 1 got a 24 on initiative, so they are going to go first. They have a slightly higher dexterity than Tex, so they're going before Tex, who also rolled a 24. That's why we're doing the tiebreaker that we explained multiple times.
Oh,
We kept
okay.
forgetting.
Yes.
Yes. It is going to do a multi-attack. It's going to attempt to pinch Tex.
Oh no. How big are these things?
Most of
Oh, a
them
24 actually will hit me.
But it's a swarm.
A 12 will not.
You take 7 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
And with that, it is your turn.
I'm gonna be mean. I know we're doing theater of the mind, but where am I in comparison to everybody else?
You were all fairly close. You were having a conversation and looking at the tchotchkes.
Okay.
Unless
I
someone
need
tells you
to
they were keeping
check.
their distance, you are all within melee range of anything you want to be in melee range of.
Okie dokie. Ah, neat. Okay. I need to double check something. I am swinging that beautiful, beautiful beam hammer. Actually, I need to double check something again. I apologize for taking up so much time. I just want to make sure.
It's fine. Just do it.
It's your turn. Go ahead. You're fine.
Okay. I wanted to make sure that it didn't say I had to attack the same target.
That's fair.
So I am going to attack the tchotchkes on mech and on hobby. The ones not on me.
Fascinating. Now, I want to paint a picture for you. I'm not going to tell you can't do this, but I do want to paint the visual picture. The ones that are swarming on the 3 players that were selected, well, characters, not players.
Mm-hmm.
If they were swarming the players, I would be very concerned.
Very.
Yes, if we were not doing Theater of the Mind, you would be in the same 5-foot space as the swarm. You may definitely swing at the ones that are swarming on them. It's just going to be that much cooler that you're smacking them off.
I don't think I get advantage on these rolls. So
You what if you took Rouge levels?
Oh,
I am going to use my advantage, my inspiration on that.
yep.
Yeah.
That's a lot better.
You replace
27
that
better.
one with a 27.
And a 25. Can I, with those rolls, knock the tchotchkes off without hurting Hobby or Mech?
Yes, but with an asterisk, it's a swarm. So you're going to knock some of them away, but you won't be clearing the airspace, if we put it that way.
Right. I know that there are 3 units right now.
Yes. Matter of fact, to help with my understanding of what's going on, I am going to arrange players in a certain way, and those are yours, and those are yours, and those are yours. There we go.
Okay.
That'll do.
Then, for each attack, I'm using my goading attack.
Fascinating.
So they both have to make wisdom saving throws DC 17. And there's a button there on the thing.
The tchotchkes have to do that? Or
The tchotchkes have to do that. Yeah.
Okay.
That's
just
why I was
wanted to-
trying to not hit you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Mech can take it for a bit, but yeah. Mm-hmm.
There's a button, but when I click it, it collapses.
Oh.
Oh, no.
So
Well, it's
I'm just
DC
gonna have
17.
to- yeah, I'm just going to open this up and press saving throw.
All right.
Oh, there's a way to give items item uses.
Oh no,
That's
that
right.
one made it.
And that's a 15. So one makes it, one doesn't.
Hey, I'm going to say the one I did 14 damage to doesn't make it.
Recovery formula.
Okay, 14 damage done. It uses a reaction. Basically, when you hit it, a bunch of them that get knocked out of the way actually latch on to your weapon and crawl down the handle at you to attack you.
This is, believe it or not, my ideal circumstance.
A 9 does not hit you.
No.
Now, you hit both of them. How much damage did you do to the
Yeah.
other one?
The other one I did 22 damage.
Okay, I'll mark that off.
That is maximum damage.
And they are doing the exact same thing. Basically, you can't see your hammer anymore. It's covered in tchotchkes.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I used goading attack.
And
Ooh.
I had. If
Oh.
they fail their wisdom check, they have to attack me.
If they don't
take
fail their
22
wisdom check,
piercing
they
damage.
oh
Okay.
Wow.
Bad news, guys. I'm below 100.
Oh no,
no.
no.
A goes to reach in their bag of holding for healing potions, and then they realize there's nothing tied to their belt.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It takes them a moment before they realize why.
Yep.
All right. So, next up is another Chachki swarm.
Hang on. Sorry. I am regaining 16 hit points.
Oh wow. That's good.
Points go down, points go up.
Mm-hmm.
It's a roller coaster.
I can do this all day.
All right. So, the first one of these Chachki swarms is the one that's been goaded.
Its teeth fall off.
The Chachkis fall off of the Chachkis. And the second attack also misses. The third one is going immediately after the second one, and that's the one that's on Hobby.
It was.
Of course.
Well, you knocked a bunch of them off, but there's others that are still swarming around Hobby.
Oh, I see.
That's the downside of it being a swarm.
Mm.
First attack is a 13, which does not hit a 16. But they are all like, oh, that's another 20.
That's the
They are
second.
crawling up all over your fur.
That is extremely not useful, but if you'll just give me a moment, I should like to. Well, no, that's that one. That's not a necessary one. I should like to do uncanny dodge.
Now, I want to
How
paint
do
this
I
picture
get
for
this
you.
out of my
You are
favorites?
in a swarm. A
Yep.
swarm of tchotchkes. They are crawling up
Yep.
your legs. They are weighing down your tail. Some of them are getting dangerously close to your rebreather.
Yes.
And you dodge them. That
I mean,
would
this is
definitely
possibly
be
done by
uncanny.
shake, 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 shake it. Yes.
It's the fur. They're great. They're
I'm not
pinching
sure.
the fur instead of the skin.
At no point am I saying you can't do this. Physics trumps game mechanics. I only have physics trump game mechanics if it's funnier. You all
Okay.
know this about me.
Uh-huh.
Why won't that
And I
work?
forgot a game mechanic.
Oh.
Stop
It's okay.
giving me
I'll remember
plus.
it next turn.
That's not an attack. Why would it be an attack? Why would that
So-
be a melee weapon attack? Why is that a simple melee weapon?
What is?
The Staff of Healing.
Oh,
Because
Obviously
you
you
can bonk
have-
someone on the
Oh.
head with a staff.
Because you can bonk someone
But
on the
I'm
head
trying
with
to
it.
put it in the favorites so it will track its charges, and it's just giving me the attack bonus.
I had this problem when I had to play your character previously because I had your character using the healing staff, and I was like, where do I click? I'm just going to remember that you used a charge.
Given
It's
it's-
fine.
I have a favorites for the charge thing, but I found out that now the sheet actually can track charges, so I'm set up the spells to consume those charges, but now I A, can't get rid of the favorites thing I made, and B, can't make it display the charges in my favorites.
This is
And also I can't get rid of favorites. It's a
this is
problem.
annoying, and at the same time, there's a part of my brain that was going, it's working better than before. I hate this. Which is
I
not
just
an
want-
accurate statement.
I can't edit my favorite.
Oh, I know what
I think your
happened.
character just deleted from the map, too.
Oh yeah.
Uh-oh.
It's gone.
I didn't do that.
I'll put you back. Oh, no.
There you go.
no,
You're back
that's
now.
fine.
Or did you do it? Well, you're back.
Yeah.
What I
So
did
this-
shouldn't have done that. I tried to drag a favorite off my favorites, and for some reason that removed me from the map.
So you want
That
to get
is
staff of healing off your
strange.
favorites, correct?
Yeah, I want to get the first staff of healing off the favorites, the one that looks like a thing, and I want to make the
Okay.
second staff of healing display its charges and not its attack bonus.
Yeah, why can't you? Oh,
There.
Well, that is not what I wanted to do. I think I need to make it not an attack.
so
Give yourself
up at
a
the top of
charge
your
back.
character sheet, in the top left, there's a toggle that says Edit. I'm wondering if that lets you do things.
There's a what? Oh, edit. Oh, yeah, I couldn't find that. Fascinating. Okay, I will play with this. Thank you. I am sorry for interrupting a.
No.
No worries.
The previous fighting with Foundry was done before the recording started, so we needed to do something for the
Vivian.
actual recording.
Obviously.
Yes. Otherwise, we wouldn't fill out the bingo card.
Right.
With all that said,
Uncanny dodge.
your uncanny dodge, you take 11 points of piercing damage.
Okay, I've noted that down.
And
If I'm correct, and attack.
I'm going to count your uncanny dodge towards this as well.
Okay.
An additional 6 points of sneak attack damage because you weren't expecting
Okay.
tchotchkes.
No, I was not
Nobody
expecting
expects the
tchotchkes.
tchotchke Inquisition.
Oh, I'm going to expect some tchotchkes real soon.
Mech, it is your turn. You still have a swarm of tchotchkes on you, although they seem to be more interested in Tex right now.
Right. Yeah.
Rage protocol. Rage protocol.
Rage protocol. Let me open that up.
The eyes
get the
turn a
character sheet
deeper
going
shade
here.
of red.
Yes. Well, they're blue, but they'll do it. Okay, so we're going to
They turn
rage.
purple.
If it'll let me. They turn purple. That's interesting. All right, let me
Well,
see.
you know, color theory.
Yeah.
They don't turn.
Yeah, I
indigo.
know.
That's not a color.
No.
Isaac Newton was
It's a nice
wrong.
name, though. Oops, hold on. I'm screwing around with the character sheet, and it's not doing what I want. Okay, Rage Protocol should work now, I think. It's not doing anything, though.
Well,
You announced that you were raging.
Okay, that's fine. Sure. Okay. All right. So I initiate my rage protocol and I look at this swarm of things that's kind of going around everyone. They're not really bothering me, but I figure if I squash them, that they won't bother anyone else either. So I'm going to try to hit them with the flat side of the battle axe. It's the plan.
works for me.
Okay. What do I roll for that? Let's see.
It would just be a battle axe attack roll.
Okay. Let me find where I have weapons at. Weapons. Okay. Yeah, that won't open for me either. Okay. Assume it's a battle axe. What could I do?
Go to your inventory.
Inventory. Okay.
Great axe of intimidation. If you
Okay.
I just clicked on the great axe of intimidation and it showed up in the chat.
Okay, I see it.
Be able to click the attack button.
Okay, going to attack. Advantage, normal, disadvantage, which?
Normal.
Okay, here we go. Oh, that's not bad.
19 is going to hit.
Okay,
So-
sorry, what? Damage? Okay,
Click on
damage. Okay,
It's not
Normal?
Click the other one. Normal,
Okay.
yes. Ooh,
12?
12 on a d12. So
17 total.
points of damage.
okay. So I'm hoping I squashed them enough where they won't come back.
Oh,
It's bloodied.
If it had blood, it would be bloodied. But there are
Okay.
little bits of wood and resin and ceramic and glass raining down all around you as you crush the things that are trying to climb all over you and climb from you to Tex, which that they're not supposed to go
Oh.
that way, but there's a few of them that are like doing like running leaps, and it's like all those gifs you see of a cat that does a jump to a surface, but the surface is further away than the cat thought. So it is
Oh,
Sail.
boom.
Wait, why 17 damage?
Because the great axe has +4/+1, so it's 12 +4/+1.
And you have your rage damage.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Damage.
Oh, I didn't do that.
Which
yeah,
is
I
plus
didn't get it to
3.
work. +3, so add 3.
Oh, it's
I
20
guess.
total.
Okay.
20
20
total.
total. Wow.
All right.
20 total. Do I do anything more, or is this good enough?
If I remember correctly, at this point you have multi-attack.
Oh,
You better.
okay.
It'll be
All
under
right.
features, probably.
Under features. Okay.
You
let me-
definitely have multi-attack. So
Okay.
you can just click attack again.
Okay. Attack again.
20 is going to hit. Go ahead and roll again for damage.
Okay. Roll damage. Okay. Damage. Let
Normal.
me scroll up here. Normal. Here we go.
+3 for raging.
+3 for raging.
14
That's
points of
14
damage
more.
total.
Okay. I think I've scared off the tchotchkes around me.
You're almost free of tchotchkes. Almost.
All right.
There,
Mhm.
there is one of those barking dog toys where that they'll like go "Arr, arr, arr," and then their legs will move for a little bit of time, but they won't actually move forward because they don't have the traction.
Mhm.
That is currently attempting to bite off your arm. It is just as effective as that sounds like it is.
Yeah. I'm just going to squash it with my hand and fling it away.
That'll be your next attack, I'm sure.
Yeah, that is what I'll do. That is what I'm going to do
Right now,
next.
you're going
Okay.
to have to wait till next turn. It is A's turn.
That's fine.
A goes after the ones that are on hobby.
Oh.
Well, the others are attacking not squishy Warforged.
True.
Yeah. And that's the whole point of the exercise, is to get them off the squishy people.
A little harder to do if there's a swarm all around you, so
Yeah, but
try to help. I'm going to try to help others after that.
I'm still amused that A could use their psychic blades as a strength attack. They never will. But I'm amused
Oh.
that they could. All right. So I think we can agree that the tchotchkes are currently engaged with hobby.
Very much annoying creatures. Oh,
So
yay!
that'd be a 22 to hit.
because A has pack tactics.
Yes.
Yes. And that means, first of all, 9 points of damage, but also
Sneak attack.
Excellent.
A does yell, "Sneak attack!"
Because of course.
Of course he
while
does.
lunging forward with the psychic blade. So that's
Not
going to
bad.
be 24 points of damage.
Nice.
555. Who does that summon?
Eris, of course. Hail Eris.
Oh.
All hail Discordia.
Mo's younger cousin. They have no business acumen whatsoever, but nepotism. And as a reaction, the tchotchke swarm attempts to go after A. Third nat
That's
20.
the third.
Third nat 20
Wow.
from a swarm.
And darn,
Each
I've
nat
already
20 has
used.
been from a different swarm.
Did something rolling out 20?
Yes.
Yes, the tchotchke swarm did.
Oh,
Hey.
Oh, I have a feeling Cavil's about to do a thing.
yeah, Kevil's doing a thing.
Silvery barbs.
Kevel is
Reroll.
taking a reaction.
Cavill reacts to their reaction.
Like
Cascading
counter
reaction.
spells, except with less
Worse.
counter spell.
It's worse counterspell. Worse for whom, one might ask. Let's find out together. So what do I have?
It has
to
And I am going to choose Tex as the beneficiary of the
Choose
advantage.
hobby. Choose hobby.
I'm going to do something else for Hobby.
Okay.
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 I'm going to turn Hobby invisible after when it's my turn.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah, but
Okay.
there are things clinging to me. I don't know if invisible. Well, we'll see.
For silvery, but oddly enough, game mechanics say that they would still have to roll disadvantage even while they're on you.
Yes.
And while I'm willing to have physics trump game mechanics, it would only be if it was funnier. In this case, it's funnier to stick with the game mechanics. That's an out of context
Anyway.
quote.
Oh,
So they
my.
have to re-roll that critical and use
They
the
have to
lower
roll
roll.
Critical.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna laugh so hard and long if this is.
They use the second. They use the lower of the 220s.
I'm gonna re-roll the damage
Yeah, but
because I
was
cannot
gonna
stop.
say, yeah, they still have to.
Okay, that is 8.
That is
points.
many fewer damage.
That is significantly fewer damage. Enough fewer that A debates not doing uncanny dodge, but they've all had their turn, so A does not do that. A does use uncanny dodge.
Mm-hmm.
All right, A is at 36 hit points. I'm mostly fine. All right, it is now. Oh wait, with all of this,
You have
A
to-
still has a second attack.
Go
I
A!
forgot about that
All right.
because A gets 2 psychic blades.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And the second one doesn't do as well because it's offhand. But still.
That's
a
not bad.
19 to hit. That will hit.
Nice.
And do 6 points of damage.
Bad.
No, it doesn't have 0 hit points. It has more than that.
If it has 0, how would they like to do this?
With regret because tchotchkes. And it uses a
Oh.
reaction again.
What? Crap.
Yes. You might say, it already used its reaction. And I will say, you are right. It already did. It uses its reaction again. You might say, it doesn't work that way. And I would say, you are usually right.
It's a slap fight.
That's a 17 to hit. And A's AC is a 15.
Oh.
Does A have second chance? Well, does A want to use second chance?
That is
Ouch.
13 more points of piercing.
Oh.
Does never mind. I was gonna say, does A have uncanny dodge?
A used
Already
its
used it.
attack.
But it's a reaction based.
Yeah. Oh, it's reaction. Does that mean you can do it for every attack?
No.
Or do you only get one
You
at-
get one reaction per turn.
Unless you're a tchotchke,
But it-
apparently.
Unless you're a tchotchke, apparently.
Right.
There's too
Right.
many
Yeah.
of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. The tchotchke said, action economy, we're not buying into your capitalistic tendencies. We're souvenirs. All right. With that said, it is now Hobby's turn.
Hobby. Okay, GM. Hobby would probably be able to figure this out. Would Hobby do better with a weapon against these things or grabbing them with her hands and pitching them?
Weapon. I say weapon.
Yeah.
They look like cheap souvenirs. You could probably damage them by throwing them, but stabby is goody.
Hey, well, I'm thinking more slicey, but I can use a bonus action, right?
Yeah.
Okay, here's my bonus action. Let's just check that. There's my bonus action.
Shadowblade.
Shadowblade. She would
That
like.
sounded like an arcade game.
Thank you.
Shadow from your blade. Wait, no. Rise from your grave. Never mind.
I would like it. So, are we in dim light?
Yes.
In addition, when you use the sword to attack a target that is in dim light or darkness, you make the attack roll with advantage.
Oh no. That gives you sneak attack.
Oh.
Will a 20 hit them?
Yes.
Well, in that case, I will roll some damage.
How do
And
you
then,
want to do
yes.
this?
Oh, I don't even have to do the sneak attack part?
No, they had 10 hit points left.
She wants to do the sneak attack part.
I mean, you can roll the sneak attack damage if you really want to. I won't stop you from rolling sneak attack damage. It is your right and privilege. You've earned this.
No. I'll hang on to that. After all, I might want to do that later if I figure out some way to do more damage in my turn. Hobby, basically, I feel like what is sort of going to be going on is a certain amount of stop, drop, roll, and then when you have got them all in one place, because they probably were just like clinging to her fur as she did a roll instead of, getting crunched or anything, shave them off in half with her shadow blade.
There's that, and I will say that the very last one, you grab onto with both hands, and you're on your back. You lift up your legs, and you disembowel it with
Yes!
your feet.
Okay, it's
Perhaps
probably
spending
grabbed his...
a bit longer doing that than you really needed to. Also, what you're doing is a lot of overkill, but it's fun, and for some reason, every fiber of your being wants to do this. It might smell slightly like catnip.
Oh.
Pity that she can't really smell very well because she's wearing her rebreather.
True. This is true.
Also, she can't bite it, which is a pity because otherwise she could shove something in her mouth and run around with it.
Well, I said might smell like catnip. I didn't say you could smell it.
Okay, there is that. There is
Take
that.
the rebreather off if you want to.
No, thank you.
For a little while, I guess. All right. Is there anything else you can do? No bonus action. I think you're good.
Do I have multiple attacks? Where would I see that?
A only gets a second attack because A uses an offhand.
I mean, I've got claws.
You could roll. You're just not going to get.
Yeah, you get a
proficiency bonus.
Yeah.
Well, I've got magical strikes. My unarmed strikes are considered magical for the purpose of overcoming immunity and resistance to non-magical attacks.
This is all.
And I get a bonus to attack and damage roll. How can I tell if I...
with an offhand, and your hand is an offhand.
Yep.
In this case, because the Shadow Blade is the main hand, then what you're doing is you're rolling, but you're not adding your proficiency bonus. So basically, you're rolling a dexterity check and seeing if that hits.
It's got a +1.
Because of your dex, yes.
No, because of my my magical tattoo.
Oh. So roll dexterity check and add 1 to the roll.
Yeah, basically. I roll.
I forgot you had a
the
tattoo.
attack.
No one sees it. It's under your fur.
Mm-hmm.
A 25 is going to hit. Which group are you going after?
That's actually 26.
The one that is on Tex or the one that's trying to get on Tex?
The one that's trying to get on Tex.
Let's go for the one that's trying to get on Tex.
Okay. Roll your damage.
Okie dokie. Roll my damage. And that's a 3 +1. So 4.
So you decided not to roll your sneak attack damage.
I should roll my sneak attack damage now.
They are engaged with an opponent.
Mm-hmm.
Technically, this would be used for a sneak attack.
I think I shall roll sneak attack. The Claws of Shadow do 16 damage.
How do you want to do this?
Oh.
The claws pop out and glow in a, well, they look darker than even the dim lighting as Hobby goes slash across the ones that are trying to get onto Tex, sending them flying everywhere in flinders.
Okay.
Does that sound good?
Excellent. I have no notes.
Flinders is a good word. So is
Except to
smithereens.
say, cavil.
Yes.
It is now your turn.
There is one of the things left.
There is one remaining moving swarm, and they are currently swarming around Tex. They have probably picked the worst target of all of you to try to swarm around.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
But they are committed to their decision.
Can I be standing like slightly away from the rest of the group? Like within 5 feet, but
My assumption is that you were not all hugging when this started.
right.
Close
Okay.
enough that only a little bit of movement would be required to be able to strike out at someone else's swarm. But that's the great thing about theater of the mind. Space is mutable.
Rather than the invisibility thing, given that we have killed most of the swarms, I'm going to conserve my spell slots. This is the
Eldritch?
19 hit.
The 19 hits.
10 force damage to the Chotskis.
Okay.
I think
I
this
will
is the
not be
one that
asking how
hasn't
you
been
went into
damaged.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was the one that was at full health. Because everyone was like, oh no, they're attacking the weaker characters. Save them, save them. And by weaker characters, I pretty much mean Hobby. Let's be honest.
Aww.
Well,
I mean, yeah, Hobby
the other
took more
two are
damage than she
giant
likes,
killer
but
robots.
yeah. So
Yeah.
comparatively,
Mm-hmm.
And everyone's like, Tex, you okay? Tex has them all trying to like take chunks out of Tex. I am fine. Mondays, am I right?
Mhm.
That is a
This
horrible
is
Tex
what-
impression.
This is what one expects when one goes into an extra dimensional space.
This is my first time. Gonna find a postcard that says, wish you weren't here.
Mm.
Anyway, is there anything else the Cavil does?
No.
Okay. Then we're at the start of the initiative order, and we are back where we started with that first swarm, which is the only one remaining. And they are gonna go pinchy pinchy. Now that's an 18,
That misses.
and that's
That
an
definitely misses.
Well, that's their turn. The way I have sneak attack coded for these things, they can only do sneak attack when they come out of their hiding by not moving thing. So they don't get to do sneak attack anymore.
Okay.
So it's my fault that I didn't roll sneak attack for the first two. Oh well.
Obviously, they weren't being very sneaky because Hobby was saying that she'd be cranky if they were mimics, so it wasn't a sneak.
The ones that jumped on you weren't the ones you thought would jump on you. They're not all attacked.
Exactly. Right, exactly.
Anyway, it's Tex's turn.
So I am swinging a giant hammer at things that are on me.
You are the ant.
Do I have disadvantage on this roll?
You know, I can see a reason why a GM would say you should. But I'm not going to be that GM this evening. I like the idea
Okay.
of the hammer and the anvil.
Whoa.
That's a 29. Roll damage
Well-
to see how much of them you break upon your body.
Cavill gave me advantage last turn.
Yep. Therefore, you got to do the advantage.
13 points of damage. Don't forget to roll your sneak attack.
I have rolled my sneak attack.
Wait, that's the wrong number. Math, my mortal enemy and best friend. Next up. Wait, you have sneak attack, don't you?
I do have multi-attack, but instead of using it,
You will
I am- no, I'm going to do a cool thing. Because you have said these are made of basically wood and plastic.
And glass and ceramic, but yes.
So I am going to walk 10 feet away from the rest of the group and turn
Oh, I forgot.
and... Oh,
Nope, carry on.
Opportunity attack. No.
No, that wasn't an opportunity attack. That was the reaction attack.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
They do those.
Every time you hit them, they hit back.
Unless you kill them.
Hmm.
Or they don't have a reaction. And Tex is walking 10 feet away.
Yes, and I want to do a cool thing, and this is they keep doing it.
They
That
keep
was
missing.
the opportunity attack.
Ah,
And
but I haven't left
also
their
a
space.
good roll. You said you're
Yeah, if
walking
you're
10 feet
carrying-
away.
But
Yeah,
if
but
you're
for the rest of
carrying
the
along-
party, I'm carrying the swarm with me.
You know what? You're right.
That's all right. They
Pretend-
missed anyway.
Yeah, pretend they didn't miss. It's fine.
I actually can't use a superiority die to do this, but I would like to, yeah, I'm going to walk 10 feet away from the party, turn around, say, hold, Cavill, burn them down. Because I happen to know that Cavill has burning hands, and they are all wood and plastic and glass.
If that's what you like. And Cavill rubs their hands together.
Okay. Now, there are 3 people who go ahead of Cavill in the initiative order. I'm going to ask, does anyone choose to take their turn before Cavill goes all Bernie?
I'll let
Hobby-
that happen.
Hobby would like to do cure wounds on A.
That's fair.
A sort of struggles to avoid it, but not very well.
Tough luck.
You've got the opportunity to do it.
Yeah. A is like the small child who doesn't want to get their hair combed by a parent.
Mhm.
Only
Don't
it's
worry,
cure
I'm not
wounds
going to
by a
lick
rogue.
you. I'm not going to lick you. I assume this is normal.
Yeah, I don't know why it
well.
includes critical roll chances on curing people.
I suppose there must be opportunities somewhere. There, have 10 hit points back, A.
Thank you.
And I didn't lick them.
You'd have to take the rebreather off.
Right.
And I taste bad. Anyway, Cavill, burning hands time. Burning hands time?
Cavill?
Ooh.
It is.
Oh, there it is. There it is.
I have to make a DC 16 saving throw. I think technically
Oh.
it's text.
Oh, right.
They've got a 20. Half damage. Oh, well.
Oh,
So did Tex.
Text got a nat 20.
yeah.
Oh, yeah. Nat 20.
Yeah, the Chachki Swarm got a dirty 20. Okay. Flame Bath.
Flame bath.
I think it's rather refreshing, but I'm not actually in this scene, so have fun. I'm not really here. Cavill, I think you're doing a good job. Burn more things.
Ah. They held their action.
Yes.
Clever.
Is it safe to say that they are engaged with an ally of A's?
Yes.
I think so.
This is a ranged attack, and guess what? They can't strike back from a ranged attack. That's a dirty 20. That's a 7 plus
Oh.
11.
How would they like to do this?
A gets a slushy.
We hope.
Hmm?
Yay!
The last remaining ones that are on fire, but still like trying to gnaw their way or pinch their way or saturate their way or whatever's going on through text get knocked off by psychic blades being thrown by A. Whereas like ding ding ding. Imagine if you will.
Tex locks eyes. Tex locks eyes with A and twists so that the tchotchkes, like the blade thrown, like pierces all of them.
Shift
You know,
for better.
I've been adventuring with you for a few months now, and this I think is the weirdest battle we had, and we fought burning zombies that put themselves back together.
Don't forget the elemental.
And
I
the
didn't think
sheep.
that was that weird. Okay, she was normal.
Oh, right. You're a kobold.
The elemental was a little weird.
Not really.
Just a little. Little
Anyway,
bit.
is
holding
everyone
my
all right?
Beer to go for a long distance.
Is everyone all right?
I'm fine, Mom. I mean, Tex.
Oh,
They
That is
pulled
not in
out
character.
some.
That is not in character.
It would be very funny if it were.
A would be mortified. A is already
Yeah,
a red
well.
scaled kobold. A would be bright red beyond being a red scaled kobold. The
Poor little
blood would
guy.
show through the scales.
Aww.
yeah.
I'm perfectly fine. Do you need any healing?
Not yet.
A could probably use some healing.
I'm okay. You already healed me.
I think
It's fine.
I've scared them away.
I mean,
Thank you
hobbies.
for your assistance.
Hobbies down 17
And
17
A
points. Yeah. Yes, A helped. A did a lot of
Good.
help.
The saying is, and I helped, but I is rest in peace. This is A's time to
Yes.
shine.
Hmm.
Yes.
I am very aware suddenly of the limitations of my voice box. How strange.
It's all right. We understand.
I mean, you can speak without your voice cracking every syllable.
This is true. However, you can express emotions on your face.
I could find you a dry erase marker.
Aw.
I think I would appreciate that. Thank you.
All right. A starts looking around the destroyed tchotchkes for one.
I don't really want to use any of the ones in here. Did all of the Chotskis attack or just
No.
some of them?
There were 3 groups of them that swarmed, but the rest appear to have always been inert. Which is good, because otherwise A would have been selling animated murderous tchotchkes to the consignment shop.
Yeah, that was kind of a
no.
concern.
So
Oh no.
I don't
Hobby is still
see
going
any-
to poke them.
I don't see any dry erase markers here. They might be in that room over there, though.
Hobby's poking a few things with her shadow blade before it disappears, and then she will move on.
And one of the spaces in this location, for want of a better word, that previously looked to be like a bookcase seems to have sort of melted or parted, and it looks a little bit more like a doorway, which is only a little weird because it's not up against what you would describe as a wall. It's closer to what you would describe as the center of the room, but it's still a passageway into another space.
Hobby's going
I
to grab
know-
some of the inanimate ones to use as breadcrumbs. Go, Tex.
That we are on a tight schedule, but would anyone like to take 10 minutes to collect their thoughts before we proceed?
I mean, we have been playing for another hour. We could take a break if you wanted to keep going, or we could wrap it up here. Either way.
Isn't a short rest an hour?
Oh, I thought it was 10 minutes. Is it an hour?
Some GM's house rule it to be shorter than that.
Okay. What is a... In this game, what's a short rest?
I'd be willing to go as low as half an hour.
Let's not do half an hour when you've only got
2 hours of air.
you've got less than 4 of those left.
Yeah.
All right. My suggestion doesn't mean anything if it's more than 10 minutes.
Okay.
I would not have made it.
Mhm.
All right. My suggestion still holds true. If I break the fourth wall, we are over halfway through what I have planned. We could take a short break and continue. We could continue without a break, or we can save this for the next session.
I'm okay to continue, but I'm aware that we're 2 hours in.
I might be
How's
okay.
everybody else doing?
I might be okay. I don't have to take medication soon-ish.
Ia?
Hmm. I
Can you keep going, or should we save this for next time?
if people want to keep going, I can keep going.
Beth?
I could do either.
I do not have an ego in this. It's whatever the party wants to do, and it sounds like everyone's like, well, whatever the party wants to do.
I'm happy to keep going.
I'm a little fried, but I can keep going.
I think let's see if we can get it done tonight then, if that's okay.
Yeah.
That's
Yep.
okay for me. All right. We will continue then. So, I am assuming you all go into the next room.
Yes.
It is a
Dropping little
library.
tchotchke breadcrumbs.
It is.
Tex, again, is going to try to lead the way.
Give me a dexterity check.
Tex does not lead the way.
Oh,
Tex definitely does not lead the
I
way.
shouldn't even roll
Oh,
today. So, if you've ever tried to go into a room that a cat wants to be in, without having the cat get into the room, and somehow the cat gets past you anyway because cat, that is A.
Oh, yeah.
And Tex.
Yeah.
Tex is not
Yeah,
the cat.
that tracks.
In case you were wondering.
Tex is not the cat in this case. Tex is not the human in this case. Tex is the human carrying 3 large Amazon boxes in this case.
Hobby is going past as well.
Yes. As A gets
Oh.
past Tex, A realizes that Hobby is already 10 feet into the room before A got to the door.
With a stealth check.
But I hate to say this at this point, but can we take 2.5?
Yes, you can.
Oh,
I'll
good.
pause. We're back. And when I say you're in a library, I'm wrong. You are in all the libraries. Or at least it kind of looks like that.
Ah,
If you look in one direction, you'll see like clay tablets with wedge-shaped impressions in them, all in relatively neat stacks. But next to that is a server rack. And right over there are scrolls next to leather-bound books, not organized by color.
Oh, this is just not fair.
I feel like I need to
We're
point
in
out
the-
they are not organized by color.
we're
I
in the
know.
invisible library.
Indeed, I was just saying, I think I've read this book. I know, it's not fair. We don't have a bag of holding in this bag of holding to put all the books in.
And very quickly, your first impression starts to waver, and it becomes a little clear that this room is kind of like the last one, in that your brain is telling you this is a library, and it's trying to fill the spaces with things that you know can go in a library, things that people have historically known could go in libraries. But it's your brain telling you this is what should be here, not this is actually a building. Building
And we
is
feel
not a
dirt
word
under our
that-
feet.
And is there dirt under our feet? Yeah.
Ellie, I need you to understand this.
Inspiration.
There. Now,
To the right is a room full of suspicious bottles.
I think I'm
Hopefully
missing the context here, but that's okay.
it's
the
a
Star
jerk
Wars
game.
game.
Yeah.
Oh, that's why I missed it. Gotcha.
Yes.
Sorry.
There was a
That's
basement,
okay.
and there was a pit of nope that had a lot of screaming, and
It was trying very hard to convince us that it had a dirt floor.
Yes. To one point, my character said, "Yes, yes, we know you're dirt. We're all very proud of you." Anyway, as you're looking around, you suddenly realize that you have lost track of everyone else in the party. They were right there. You looked away, you look back, they are not there.
If you can hear me, sign off.
No one hears that but Tex.
Hobby is muttering that obviously she and Cavil should have tied their tails together like they did when they were little kids.
Tex, you're first in the initiative order. I'm not having anyone reroll, so I'm going to start with you and work my way down. What is something that you have lost?
My direction in life.
It's a very valid answer. As this thought occurs to you, in front of you, you see you. Not you as you are now, although visually that's a very similar appearance. Perhaps a bit shinier, a bit slightly better maintained because of all the infrastructure involved. Fewer battle scars, or more in some cases. Parts can be replaced.
Is this me before all this?
You, when you were certain of your direction.
Okay. So they don't have the part of the leg that I had to replace with another juror that I defeated. With the part from another juror that I defeated.
Correct. It's not... When you see them, they are... When you see her, she is doing things that you remember doing. She's in front of you, but just like space and distance and shapes in this place are mutable, she's in front of you, you're not in front of her. She is in the environment where she was when she was doing those things, fulfilling those tasks.
Also, to be clear, it is they at that point.
Okay. I thought I remembered that, but then corrected myself just in case. Yeah. I'm remembering that from your backstory, but I couldn't remember if I was remembering the correct version.
I'm not a criticism, just a gentle correction.
Thank you. And specifically, the things you see them doing are the things that if you were a biologic would be keeping you up at night. And it is visceral.
Well, they still... Mm-hmm. Yeah, they still keep Tex up at night.
It is visceral and it is very, very real. With that said, Mech, you are next in the initiative order.
Okay.
What is something that Mech has lost?
Time to think for herself instead of murder everything.
In front of you is a battlefield. Well, was a battlefield. There's only you left standing there. You see yourself in front of you. There's no one left to kill. You have just finished that job. There is blood and viscera everywhere. You have done an excellent job. Perhaps not as efficient as might be expected, but there was some flair involved. The rage protocols still need to be a little tweaked a little bit, just because, finding the right measurement of energy exerted towards reward received. Next is A. That's a story that the GM will think about.
Poor
Next is
Poor A has lost a lot. Hobby has currently lost her sibling. I mean, she's lost like all her parents. She figures she had like 4 of them technically, and but right now she's lost her sibling, and that's what is annoying her the most.
Yes, EO. To respond to your question in the chat, technically, no one here is seeing anyone else in the party. You are all isolated and going through these at the same time.
Okay.
Yes. Hobby, in front of you is Cavil, but very clearly a younger Cavil. A child Cavil. There's no Converse sneakers are flying.
It's little Cavil.
Yes.
Oh no.
There's no
Cavil?
Warlock pact yet before that. And holding Cavil's hand is one of your parents.
Hobby sighs and continues to be stealthy. because when things happen that aren't real, it probably means that there's a mimic around who's going to try to eat you or something. If you rush out and go, wait, parent, friend, is this the past? Are things good again? Because things aren't good.
A hand is placed on your shoulder, and it is another parent, and they feel so much larger than you. And you realize instantly it's because you are so young compared to them. After all, you're only a child. It's roughly the same age as Cavil. Who's roughly the same height as you. And you hear them say, "Are we being sneaky again, little Hobby?"
With the
You were doing
28.
such a good job with that, too. I almost didn't see you there. And you remember how, at the time, perhaps you did think you were doing an excellent job. You were crouching on the carpet in plain view with no furniture near you, but you were crouching down on the carpet, and that did make you invisible.
Right.
Yes. Actually, nowadays, current Hobby might be able to pull that off. But never mind about that. Cut to Cavil.
Cavil has lost a lot of things. Cavil lost all their family but Hobby. Cavil lost the other warlocks who served Mo in the future, most of whom were lower level than Cavil. A lot of them died making sure that Cavil and Hobby could get to the ritual that was going to send them into the future. But Cavil has lost their place. Cavil used to be one of the higher level adventurers left who hadn't died or ascended to some kind of divinity out of necessity. And they're recovering some of their abilities, but not the ones they had before, not the purpose they had before. They were a warlock. They were mostly a warlock. It was everything to them in a lot of ways. They may have sold their soul to someone who is a dad, but they still sold their soul. And now he doesn't want it.
I never wanted it. And you hear that voice behind you, and you are immediately in a room that has been turned into something of a kitchen and eating area. The war has been going on for some time now. You have risen through the ranks. But this space was large enough to be made a temporary living area for a large number of warlocks of Mo, the new Asmodeus. And they are laughing, and joking, eating, and bandaging wounds, and all the things that one might do during downtime, where you find the mirth where you can. And you have probably helped a lot with that, with your bard abilities as well. Which might be one of the reasons why you've risen so high, considering Mo's previous occupation. And as the scene washes over you, no, something isn't quite right here. Because, yes, this happened. They were all here. You were here with them. But you were leading them. Mo wasn't standing behind you to respond to that unspoken thought. But he's here now. Not the Mo that you know from now. The Mo from then. Asmodeus. with emphasis on that extra syllable. All of this, he says, wasn't for any reason beyond vengeance. Petty, bitter vengeance. I didn't want any of this. Not for any of you. Not for my son. Not for me.
At least we were in it together.
We were. It was something. But silver linings often wrap around horrid things. I lost my son twice. And the second time... You go.
No, you go.
And the second time... When I took the mantle, his soul wasn't even here. Cut to text. You've noticed yourself. The you of the past approaches, not poised to strike. Although, to be fair, you know how quickly that can change.
It's true.
But they walk up to you. There is a posture that shows they are appraising you.
Do I have a minute?
You have a moment.
A minute's what I need. No. You can appraise me all you like. I am not this. This comedy is not me. I am more than the things I was programmed to do. I am free. I am not TX841. I am Tex, not a machine. And I reject you.
Give me a give me a charisma save.
Okay. No, I don't think I will. No, I'm going to use my inspiration on that.
Okay. All right.
There's the 20 I wanted.
So you were beginning a sentence. Please finish your sentence.
I don't remember what the sentence. I don't remember what the sentence I was beginning was.
You were wrapping up by saying, "I reject you."
Yeah, I reject. I reject, and there is a shattering noise and the sound of microphone feedback. I am me.
As you make this assertion, parts of your vision go dark. Large chunks, like a very low-res monitor having pixels die on it. And the scene melts away. And it's just you in the library with the candlestick. No, not the candlestick, but just the library. Mech.
Okay. So Mech is looking at this like this is the old me.
And they have also noticed you.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to walk up to this other one and say hello and try to convince the other me that they don't need to murder everything just to feel worthy of something. Assuming it wants to talk to me.
They look at you and they say, "What else is there?"
So much more than you know of. You have been betrayed by shenanigans in math and science. You can change that.
We were built to do this.
But it doesn't have to be that way.
Give me a charisma save.
Oh my, okay. Let me find the character sheet again. Here we go. Okay, charisma. Where's charisma on here? At the top.
It's
Okay.
the stat on all the way to the right. And if you click
Okay.
on CHA, you'll get the pop-up that asks you which role you want to do.
Okay, so normal? Yes? No?
Wait, hold on. That's
Yeah.
check. We want save.
Oh, okay.
Where
How do I
did
do
save
that?
Oh, saving throws are below that. They're in the box directly below. You're still going to
Okay.
click on the CHA
Yeah. Okay. Click CHA.
and then click normal.
And click normal. Okay.
This touching moment brought to you by.
That should have been a 16.
It should have been a 16, but it was a 6. Yeah.
Well, you do have inspiration. You could spend it if you wish.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
That just means roll again, right?
That
Yeah.
means roll it again, and I'll turn
Okay.
off your inspiration. As you
Okay.
turn it off. So we turn it back on again. No.
Ah.
Okay,
Okay.
roll again.
Roll again. Okay.
And
That's a
nice.
bit better. Yeah. Okay.
They look at you, and
Mm-hmm.
they say, will we still be strong?
Of course.
They're
But you-
stronger than I am.
I lost my train of thought. Hold on.
Sorry.
Okay. It's okay. I'll get it. I'll get it.
I was trying to be text breaking through the illusion.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry.
Soon. Soon. TM.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Let's try this again. Will we still be strong?
We will always be strong, but you have to direct it in ways that don't involve just murdering everything. You can do it to help others, and you'll feel much better when you do.
I don't want to always be angry.
I didn't want to either. It takes time to give that up, but you can.
They look down at what they've done, which is, they don't have to look down to see that. It's a very large area.
It's everywhere. Hmm.
And they look up at you again and say, I'd like that.
You can start right now.
As you are saying that to a bookcase, because you are back in the library.
Oh,
There was no static. There was no shattering of a microphone. There was more an integration.
oh, okay. Merging?
Well, they were always a part of you. You were always a part of them.
Ah, okay. I
You
get it.
weren't necessarily rejecting them. Texas
Okay.
demons are different.
Right.
Which brings us to, again, A. And that's a story for another time.
Hey.
Hobby, you are happy here. Your parents are here. Your sibling is here. There may or may not be a meal that you've been consuming. There may or may not be soup that has gotten into your fur again while somebody is
I
cleaning it out again.
mean, you can lick it out. That soup's fine.
Yes, but licking takes forever, and there is some insistence that it gets out before it dries.
Fine.
And there's this or a bath, young lady.
I will drip wet fur everywhere if you give me a bath. You know that.
Yes, but we care for you.
And Cavil's not big enough to make prestidigitation yet, like in the sewer.
And you say that it doesn't break the illusion, but you become painfully aware, very painfully aware, that while everything that's happening here is something that did happen, it is from your memories. It's a memory. And the smiles from your parents didn't look that sad in the memory.
Hobby sniffles because it's not real. But also, if it were real, terrible things would be coming, and that's bad too. And you can't stay in a memory forever.
I think you know what's coming. Give me a charisma save.
You're not rolling. Come, you silly thing. Make the roll. If I have to change back to the thing, fine.
You shouldn't have to change.
There it
Click on
is.
the name, though.
I wasn't clicking the right thing.
Ah.
So, do you, like the rest of us, want to use your inspiration?
Do I have inspiration? Let me check.
Hobby does not have inspiration.
I am inspirationless.
The memory shatters, and it hurts.
Mm-hmm.
It hurts
I'm
in your
sure.
chest. It feels like your heart is being ripped out.
It probably would anyway.
You take 9 points of psychic damage.
Ouch. Okay.
And you are back in the library. The last things you remember of this memory are screams and fire and pain and loss and feeling so alone.
Yeah, probably remembers other things that came after.
And
Look around for Cavil quickly. Cavil's turn.
for a period of time, you are only vaguely aware of your location. Your location is kind of vague to begin with, so being vaguely aware of it kind of makes sense. But you are stunned and dazed and definitely not 100% right now. As the worst of it starts to fade, you're aware that A has pulled you into their lap and they're sort of rocking you back and forth. And you are definitely crying.
Oh, yeah. I had to mute to blow my nose.
A may or may not have handed you a handkerchief.
Uh-huh.
Do not ask about how clean it was.
No, that's fine.
It's
Bobby's
not clean
just
now.
going to
That's
sob
the
on
thing.
A's shoulder for a while.
Cut to Cavil. The movement of the other warlocks here has slowed down. The volume has
I know.
muted.
I know that it's better this way, that what we did, that even if there'd been some way to stop them, then that undoing it all is better. That what happened won't have to happen, and
Mo puts a hand on your shoulder and leans forward a bit. He's always been a little bit taller than you. More so after becoming Asmodeus. And looks you in the eyes and says, I know. It doesn't make the loss less real. It doesn't make it hurt less. If anything, knowing that this is the better option only makes it worse because you know it's a necessity, that avoiding it only brings hardship on everyone else. It doesn't ever make it better just because it makes it right. Do you know that I know this? I shouldn't. The me that you sold your soul to, the me that you think I am, should never exist, should never come to exist.
but you're my patron. And you gave me a piece of you, even if it's a much larger piece now, in this time.
Proportionately, yes.
He didn't ask for that contract. You didn't want to have warlocks.
I didn't ever want to take that mantle. I rejected it. I absconded. I made my own little plans, my own little petty kingdoms. Oh, never as the one in charge, always an advisor, always in the shadows. But one amasses a great deal of power that way, and there's always plenty of shadows. And then this, and there's a gesture at everything around you, happened, or will never happen. Still can't wrap my head around that. And grief ruined the multiverse. Well, you know what? I think I'm beginning to understand that. If there is a guiding path of what is to be, which I don't usually believe in, I think it's fitting for us to know this pain. I lost my son once, and it broke me. It was too much. and I made bargains to bring him back. Then you showed up, and suddenly I knew I'd lost him twice. Suddenly I remembered losing him twice. And you know, between the first loss and your arrival, I'd done a lot of work to build myself back up. When there's a fracture in a foundation, you strengthen it to the point where it no longer is a weakness. Or you try to, at least. There's two kinds of people who deal with that. The ones who say, not again. This is too much for anyone. And the ones who haven't had enough grief yet to learn that. The hand on your shoulder grips a bit harder. The pain doesn't get easier, but you get stronger. Don't let anyone else fall into that if you can help it. And whatever power the future me granted you would have been whatever darned tense we're talking about is worth it.
That is a pact that I will swear willingly and not only out of grief.
Then we have an accord. And if you at any moment tell anyone I was this open with you about this, I will deny everything.
I know.
And he lets go, and maybe he winks, but maybe he doesn't. It was a blink and you miss it. It's a wink, of course it's blink if you miss it. And he turns away from you and just yells into the air, "Now how the nine hells do I get out of this bag of holding?" And he fades away.
You got the right one.
And you didn't have to make a charisma save. And you are in the library. And everyone else is there. And Hobby may or may not have wet marks around the eyes.
Her nose is
Hobby.
running. She's sobbing.
Come here. Come here.
Hi, Cal.
We're going to... I'm here. We're going to fix things.
Uh-huh. I had soup in my fur, and it wasn't real. And everything was going to be terrible anyway, and it hurts. And we got to find Tex's friend.
I think
Come
we're
on.
in that room over there.
Room?
Let's save the people we can still save.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
world is often
world.
terrible. We must be the light. Let's go.
And you walk through another, for want of a better word, passage that wasn't there before, but arrived just after Cavil. And you are in another space. And you've rolled a 3 on the die. Tex, once again,
For
is
trying-
not able to be the first person in the room. I don't even need to roll for A to determine whether or not A is going to be in there
Yeah,
before Tex.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wow.
Hobby is not doing very well either, probably because this time she's leaning.
You're all a little wobbly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Maybe not Tex. Tex is perhaps walking stronger than before.
Probably Mech, too.
Possibly.
Yeah, let's see what happens.
But I would argue between Tex and Mech, Tex was the one who did battle.
True.
Yes.
It is interesting. The barbarian used logic,
Mm-hmm.
diplomacy.
Right. Didn't want to fight myself. That would take forever.
The barbarian used empathy,
Yeah.
which you think is easy to do against yourself, but sometimes not as easy as you'd like.
Mm-hmm.
No.
People who think it's easy against yourself haven't ever thought about it.
Mm-hmm.
So you all sort of like go into the room, Tex bringing up the rear, A and Mech kind of sort of walking in at the same time and almost tripping over each other.
Oh, sorry.
Roll.
Didn't mean to step on you.
Sorry.
If only we had something like the dexterity score is a decimal.
Okay, that's funny.
Why Tex always has inspiration.
I love you.
So, you are in a mass grave. This room is filled with bodies in various states of decomposition, which is slowed but not eliminated by stagnant air being the thing.
Well, this would be horrifying if I had to breathe.
This would be horrifying if I didn't have a mask on. I'm a little concerned.
I feel the urge to cast prestidigitation a large number of times.
They're arranged. They're not arranged in a macabre thing. They're laid out. Their arms and legs are at their arms are at their sides. Their legs are not at their sides. That would be folding them in half.
Ew.
Yeah, okay.
They're laid out as one would do to put them to rest. There is a bit of
We look down the line, and suddenly Tex reads out, "I am the very model of a modern major general."
No.
No. That is definitely not going to be canon.
Oh no.
This is the catharsis after the catharsis.
Yes.
We have been serious and emotional. Now we will crack jokes. I am here for this content.
Oh, I've been cracking jokes the entire time.
I know.
That's my secret, Cap.
That's why I love this game. In the middle, for want of a better word, because again, wibbly wobbly, spacey wacy, of this room is CRC F2739CHX. They are
39.
holding something. They look up when you say 39, and it becomes clear that they are holding not a corpse, but the first thought to look at them is that it is a corpse. They are emaciated. The skin is in many places looking like it's covering bone, not muscle. It's very wiry in some places. The hair is long and greasy. The clothing is tattered in just the right way to keep the stream PG-13.
That's fine. Yep.
And the being is curled up, but has its arms wrapped tightly around 39's ribcage. And
Tex is already running.
they are...
I'm going to provide backup.
They have their arms wrapped around the being as well. And when they see you coming, they hold up a hand with one finger over their lipless mouth. Because skeleton.
Right.
Right.
So Tex isn't making any sound other than the jingling of her armor and the hammering of her footsteps, but she is running.
You're there. Faster than you thought it would take you. But you're there.
Yeah, this is not a Euclidean realm.
Oh, definitely not. Euclid has nightmares about this place. And not just all the dead bodies lying around.
How is someone, if they're not dead, how are they breathing?
They're not breathing.
But they're obviously still awake and aware.
They're sobbing.
Of course they are. Their entire defense.
I
Oh,
They were lonely?
have so many questions and am not allowed to talk. I have no mouth, and I must ask what the hell is going on.
So I'm not going to require an insight check to understand that the hand over the finger over the mouth thing was because you don't want to startle this particular being. Maybe don't make loud noises, like stomping and yelling 39. Speaking of which, my cat has wandered into another room and is now meowing because I did not follow him, so he thinks I've left him forever.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
He's done this before. Socket!
Poor kitty.
Okay,
I'm sure that stealth check is going to work very well.
Well, you're trying to be stealthy, and it's the thought that counts. We won't ask what you're thinking, but it's the thought that counts.
Hmm.
I'm doing that Fleischman cartoon, like tiptoe stealth.
And, well, you're already there, so you don't even need to be moving anymore.
Is this creature what I think it is? What I think they are?
They look at you, and they shrug. They don't know what you think it is. And yes, I am acknowledging that Hobby got a 26 on his stealth check.
Mm-hmm.
Is this creature what I have been led to call the bagman who has been pulling people into the space between bags of holding?
39 looks around this space at all the corpses and looks back at you and gives a slow kind of nod.
Like I said, is this creature what I think they are?
They give us... Look, they woke up from stasis less than 24 hours ago. They don't know what a bagman is.
Right, but I extrapolated.
Yes, but you have more context than they have. All they know is someone popped out and then grabbed them and brought them here.
Oh, Cavil's casting message.
Oh, good. I was trying to figure out how to cast message, and apparently it was, in fact, casting.
You
have cast
excessively successful.
Times.
Oh. Okay.
Okay.
Cavill is going to explain what the bagman is.
A, a legend. B, the legend of.
Okay. And they can reply, right?
Cavill is providing context. Let me check.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
It's a cantrip.
Yes.
No,
Yeah,
okay.
Here's a message you can reply in a whisper that only you can hear.
Oh, yep, there it is.
yeah.
Okay. They say, makes sense. Did you find my tablet?
We might even have remembered to bring it.
One of you did make a point of putting it in your
I
inventory.
absolutely have the tablet.
All right. They hold out a hand for it.
I pass it over. Are they going to drop the person?
No. They're
Okay.
Even if they let go with both hands, the person's not going to drop because the person is has the arms wrapped around 39.
Gotcha.
But they reach out with one hand, take the tablet, and then move it over towards the other hand, and then use their finger as a stylus to
Oh, neat.
take the H and the E and add the rest of the word. And then...
H-E needs our help.
And then a couple more words. What they write is, hello, new friend. What is your name?
Oh. Aww.
They were never writing for help.
Yeah.
Figures.
But it was much, much funnier when we thought they were.
And they hold the tablet over in front of the space where you assume there is a face. It is covered in greasy hair that's hanging down from the bangs. And two glowing pinpricks of light appear briefly. And then the head buries itself in, like, not literally burying itself in 39's chest, because that would be a lot of structural damage, but, like, head goes down onto the chest and the arms go around stronger. 39 looks at that for a little while, strokes the hair a little bit, and then wipes the tablet and writes, and then turns the tablet to face the party, and it says, may they have a second chance.
Aren't
Please.
we about to?
Give me a minute.
They nod.
Hobby mutters, we're about second chances, aren't we? But just not saying yes or no.
I'm saying this back to the party as well. Please give me a minute.
Okay.
Of course.
I like how clicking on the arrow in more details just closes it.
Oh, that's no good.
But
The actual spell description is I get 2 of those. And what I'm looking for is current HP and Constitution score.
You're assessing the bagman.
Yes.
So Constitution score is 20. What's the other one?
Current HP.
168.
Okie dokie. All right. That I I assure you, I was not assessing those for a nefarious purpose, for the reason that people think.
Like, there's a landmine here. How far away should I be walking? You now know your answer.
No. My question was, if the bagman can't survive outside of the pocket dimension, how long do we have?
The expert in the room is currently hovering a little ways off the ground on Converse sneakers of flying. And
yeah, that's probably a fair cop.
What the legends tell you is not, oh, the bagman can't survive anywhere else. It's that the bagman was changed here. And everything they do is because they don't know how to get home. And they are so very, very lonely. Every time they venture out, they are hoping to find home.
That's what it was doing.
And not finding that, they bring back someone to keep them company because they cannot bear to be alone. Everyone they find leaves them.
Mass murder by reason of insanity. Well,
What if he just outlived them, though? There's not a lot of air here.
Exactly. It's still kind of murdery to capture people, but...
well, if he survives here but no one else does...
It'd be hard to understand that, yeah.
Yeah. 39. I don't know your body's construction, but please, one last time, let me carry someone else's burden. I think we know the way out.
And that's where we're going to end it for tonight.
Wow.
Thank you, everyone, for playing and or crying. Thank you, everyone, for listening and or crying. Tonight I was joined by a bunch of people who may or may not have been crying.
I definitely was.
Crash, who was crying.
Mm-hmm.
Ellie, EO, and Jen. Who would like to plug a thing?
Eo's mom writes books.
Well, Eo's mom's writes books.
At ElizabethMcCoy.com.
No dash.
No dash, unless you want the dash. It ought to still forward, but... Also, I think I know our team name. I think we're the Second Chances.
Oh, I like that.
And speaking of books...
Hey, speaking of books...
Right. Okay. So my website is bookofjen.net, and it's got a lot of stuff on it. I just put things that I feel like writing about. There are book reviews at the top, which I'm trying to add as soon as I get through the books. And you can find that there. I'm also the host of the Shattered Soulstone podcast, which is about the Diablo series of games for the most part, occasionally venturing out into whatever the company is doing. And that's at shatteredsoulstone.com. New episode went up today, I think.
And you just finished putting together a thing for it, didn't you? Before the game?
The show notes for it.
Oh, show notes,
Show
yeah.
notes,
Yeah.
right.
Mm-hmm. Yes, that.
So that'll go live.
It might be live.
Before I think this episode goes live?
This episode is... Well, the one I published today will go live May 27th. And I've
that's
got a
neat.
few more to edit before this one ends up in the queue.
Okay.
Yeah, so we got a small buffer.
Considering we're recording this in February, yes.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
that buffer is only going to
And this was our Halloween game.
Oh my.
Yes. You know what? We're going to make up all kinds of lies about when we're recording things, and no one's going to do it.
Of course we are. Yes. It's more fun
We're
that way.
recording this in the future. It's a game about time travel.
Why not?
And joining us next week, special guest Asmodeus.
Yeah, I have questions, and I'll talk to you about that later.
I'm so glad to
Actually-
be here, everyone. Now, you might think that I decided I was going to play a bard, but no. Today, I decided I am going to play something outside of my wheelhouse. I am going to play a warlock. What? Why are you all looking at me? Oh, to the nine hells with you. Storm's off. Anyway,
I have to confess, actually, what EO said was true. We're actually recording this from February 25, and for... You can hear the sirens in the background. For the love of God, don't invest in...
you already have your inspiration, young lady. Okay. And I guess
Speaking of websites,
AaronBSmith.com is where I put all of this nonsense, all this shenaniganery. Yes, I've done it more than once, so therefore it is shenanigans. I shenaned, and then I did it again. You can
true.
get all these podcasts at AaronBSmith.com/cogwheel, but you can also go to AaronBSmith.com to see all my social media stuff and the links to things I have on itch.io and all that wonderful stuff. And if you
but what if we want to pay you?
then support public education, because that's my day job, and I'm not quitting that. But also, in
Well,
addition to
darn.
that, we do have a Patreon, patreon.com/cogwheelgaming. You can help us keep the lights on, along with other illustrious patrons, including Ellie, Shan, Walter, and patron emeritus Cindy. And until next time, this is Crash saying, look,
Something.
there's something in my eye. It's fine.
Oh.
Fine. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
I had to blow my nose.
Aw.
Yeah.